Kiss me right in dirty.
Thank you. So my name is Laura Locke. My kids and my husband call me Papa Long right now. I broke my leg a couple of weeks ago, and I'm either rolling or I'm on crutches. I am the broker-owner of Lockwood Loan here in Riverside. I've been the owner for quite some years now. I'm very blessed to say I'm a core coach. So let's talk about a little bit about today, so a little bit of housekeeping. First of all, you're going to see some pens and notebooks on the table. Pet peeve of mine is when you come in front of the speakers that have been working their butts off for years, that have been doing some great things, and you're not taking notes, and you're not implementing, you're wasting your own time. So don't do that. Grab the pens, grab the notebooks, take copious amounts of notes. Today is going to be a really great day. I'm super excited about it. The man that's speaking changed my life about 5 years ago. So listen, I believe there are 3 types of people in this room. I believe that there are driven people in this room. I believe that there are drifting people in this room, and there's a few directing people. So here's what I mean. A driven person is super hungry, and they're like, I'm going to go after it. I'm super excited. I know what I want to do. I'm going to go after it. I want to make $1 million. I'm going to be there. Drifting people are like, okay, I want to do real estate. I'm getting up in the morning and I'm making my little checklist, and kind of think I know what I'm doing. I'm going to go maybe over here, maybe over there. Driven people sometimes ignore their family. There's no balance. Drifting people have more of a personal life. They have balance in their life. So to start off with, give me a show of hands. There's no right or wrong. I'm a little bit of both. Who in this room is do you think you're a driven person? Okay. Now, who in this room is drifting? Okay. Who in this room is a little bit of both? Okay. Now listen, I will talk about the directed towards the end, but I'm going to give you a little bit about an I remember when. So I started with the core, 6-7 years ago, something like that. I was closing a decent amount. I was a loan officer. I was closing 3 a month for an agent. That's maybe 1 a month, 1 every month, every other month. I was an agent. So I felt like I was doing pretty good. A friend of mine, an agent, and if you know him, his name is Jeremiah Gernick. He's the most aggressive follow-up person I've ever met. Loves to be coached. And he was like, hey, I'm joining a coaching company. I think you should do it with me. It's a couple $100 a month. It's a CD program. I'm like, man, I don't need coaching. I'm doing great. At this time, I just finished one of my degrees. I have a couple degrees in economics. So I'm like, hey, I'm a smart cookie. I know what I'm doing. I don't need your help. I've been in this industry for 20 years at this point. No. He kept on persisting and persisting. 2 weeks of this man calling me every flipping day. And I knew nothing about the core. This is not the core selling me. This is not me looking it up and seeing videos and being like, yeah, I want to learn from them. It was just him. So I was like, you know what? If it'll just shut you up, I will do a couple $100 a month. I will get the CDs for a year. So I did that. He quit after 2 weeks, to be fair. I did it. And I remember getting the first CD. It went to my house, and I'm not a CD person. Come on, at this point in time, we were well past CDs, and so I didn't have a CD player. And so I'm like, how do I listen to it? So I take this cute little CD, and I plug it into my DVD player. And it was the first CD that I got was about a personal budget. Now, I was on my own since 16, so I had to learn how to budget early. And so again, I'm like, man, I've been budgeting for way too long. But what is this guy going to tell me? Just be quiet and listen to it. And what he talked about on this is, one, he talked about how the money you get in this month is to pay the bills for next month, a style of budgeting. And then he taught me the rule of money, which I thought is absolutely fantastic. Save 20%, never touch it. I was so enamored by the CD that I listened to it 1, 2, 3, 5 or 6 times where my kids were like, can you please stop talking about this? Can we stop talking about listening to the CD? But it was at that moment that I'm like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to really get into the core, which I did. It really taught me that, yes, I'm extraordinarily driven, but I have no idea what I'm doing. I do not have a foundation. I went to my first summit. I went to that summit and almost cried because even though I'm college educated, even though I've been in this industry for years, I had no idea what I was doing. And I met this man back here, and he started directing traffic. And one of the first conversations to me was, because I argued, I don't remember what, about something. He loves to argue, by the way. I argued with something, and he's like, lady, how much do you have in the bank? About 200,000 at that time. I was super proud. And he was like, okay, that's great. You have 200,000 in the bank. I have 100 million in the bank. And these people around you have amassed millions in the bank. So are you going to shut up and listen and learn to be directed? Or are you going to keep on talking and staying in your driven and your drifting state? From then on, I became super passionate. It changed my life. It set up a legacy for my kids. And it helped me learn a foundation for my business, not just overarching from the day-to-day. So today, you're going to hear from me. You're going to hear from Mr. Dustin Bingaman, and you're going to hear from Ryan McKee. Now, let me tell you about Dustin real quick. He's going to come up and give you a little bit of a journey as well. Dustin is 20 minutes from me. He's another lender. One would think we would be direct competitors, and he wouldn't want to help me out at all. That's the next best thing about the core, is the humility. We're all working in this business together. So when I joined the core, when I joined level 3, the man talked to me daily, sometimes twice a day, sometimes 3 times a day, because I was trying to implement so fast, he guided me and helped me out. Now again, this is a $1 million producer, and this is me closing 3 to 5 deals a month at this time, and he helped get me there, get me into the core to where I was closing 15, 20, upwards of 50 at one time. Ryan McKee, same thing. He met with me, kind of showed me the process, walked me through it, and I just became a part of a community of people that were humble, that were saving money, that were creating legacies, and were being directed by someone who knew exactly of what they were doing. So take notes today. You're going to learn a lot of things. Keep in mind, are you driven, are you drifted, or are you directed? Here's my man, my ride or die lender. That's me.
As Mark said, I'm Dustin Bingaman. I own Arrowhead Capital Mortgage in Redlands. I've been with Rick now. November will be 10 years. And I say Rick, the core is a community of, I think we have 34 coaches right now in level 3. I heard Rick for the very first time on stage at an event in Las Vegas. God knows we don't need an excuse to go to Las Vegas as realtors and lenders, correct? So those are events that nothing gets accomplished, and we really don't learn anything. We roll in late. He was up on stage about 5 minutes in. You will hear him. He's slightly aggressive. I absolutely adore that about him. He said, "Hey, look at me. If you're fat, lose weight. No one likes working with fat people." Now, understand that my process was I was 387 pounds 5 years before that. I understood wholeheartedly what he meant. And I think that the room took that as a, man, this man is rough, he is rude, he's straightforward. I don't know if I like that. And I was like, where's that man at? I want to fight him, I want to hang out with him. And I understood what he was saying. It was a genuine care for people. So my last decade with this man has been a ride that I would have never envisioned. Just like every one of you guys in here, we have a beginning to this business, and this is a trial by fire. Every transaction is different, nothing is the same. The FHA loan you did on this one is different than the FHA loan you did with this new consumer. And what Rick has taught us is leveraging our business and how to be able to grow that from being a producer that does 2, 3, or 4 loans a month to being able to talk about numbers like Lamar said, 15, 20, 30, 50. It's not something that I ever envisioned in my life, and without the direction and the guidance and leadership that I've had within the core, I would not be here to talk about it today. Okay? I promise you, you will walk away with pages of notes today. We always do a top 10 list at Summit, and my encouragement to you guys is that you would walk away with your list today with 3 things that you can put into place in your business over the next 2 weeks. Okay? I think that most commonly we like to attack the hardest thing. We're like, I've never ever done a letter of the heart, or whatever it may be, right? And I'm a decade in, and I've sent out 3 letters of the heart. I suck. It's not my strong suit. Yes, I'm going to get in trouble for that in a minute. It's totally okay. All to be said, pick something that you can implement inside your business and put to work immediately. I promise you that what he's going to talk about today with warm leads is going to be super impactful. It's been tremendous in my business. A little quick story. I have been helping my youngest son in his baseball passage and career as he's working his way towards college. And over the last 3.5, 4 months, I decided to work again from a challenge from Rick. He said, so do you belong here or do you not belong here? And I was like, huh. I don't really like how it feels. And so I put my head down, and I will say over the last 4 months, we're back to production where we're approaching 20 units again. Again, we talked about drifting, being directed. I'm under direction right now, and I give full authority to the man. He keeps me accountable, so I promise you he will have a strong impact on you today. So I'm going to pass the mic off to Mr. McKee here. For those of you guys who don't know, I sat on Rick's dock in North Carolina, and he said, how many real estate agents do you work with? And naturally I lied. I said 17. Thought that was a good number to make up. And he said, how many of them are men and how many of them are women? And I was like, I don't really know. So as I evaluated that, he said, I challenge you to work with people who are in a similar life circumstance to you. Find other men that are providers for their families, and hang out with people that you can do life with, people that you can have to a pool party, and not invite a bunch of women to your house to wear a bikini for a pool party. And I was like, oh, yes sir. So I sought out this man online. I found Ryan on Facebook, and I saw a lot of humility. He had a post that he had just closed over 100 transactions in a year. And he said, I'm humbled by the people that have elected to choose me to guide them through their process of buying and selling real estate. And I was like, that's the man Rick you told me to chase. Don't chase a man like that. He's about his family. He's about putting people first. He's humble. So I have now been in a business relationship, in a brotherhood, a friendship with Ryan going on 9 years. And there's nothing I won't do for this man. He is truly a business partner and a brother to me. So it's my pleasure to introduce to you Ryan P.
Morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Just by a quick show of hands, how many lenders do we have in the room here? Wow. How many lenders do we have in the room? Good even mix, you guys. You know, one thing that I noticed when Laura was talking, one of the first things that she asked is, are you driven, are you drifting, and are you directed? Did you guys look around when she asked that question? How many people raised their hands when she said, hey, who's drifting? It was probably 75% of the room. Can we agree that right now, this is probably one of the most challenging markets that we've ever had? So we went through 21, we went through 20, we went through the COVID years, we call them the fake years now. These are the real years. Can we all agree to that? Yes. So listen, my promise to you guys today, if you don't walk away with at least 3 things that you can implement into your business immediately, if you don't walk away with 3 things, I promise you, find Dustin, Laura, and I, and we will make sure that there is no way that that doesn't happen, you guys. So I'm excited for you to hear from Rick, but before I do that, I want to tell you a little bit more about Laura, and I want to tell you a little bit more about Dustin. So when I met Laura, I knew the agent that she was working with, and I saw what Laura had. Laura had a passion. Laura loved what she was doing, and she was one of those that needed a little bit of direction, right? The drive was there, she was drifting. I could relate to that. I could absolutely relate to that. And I want to tell you a little bit more about Dustin too. When I met Dustin, so 9 years ago, Dustin, I don't know if it's a God thing, but when he was told to seek me out, obviously I'm not the one that's going to be sitting around the pool in a bikini, so thank you for that. You're welcome. The big thing is I actually needed Dustin more than Dustin needed me at that time. Any of you guys ever had that in your life? Where just that moment where the right person comes, the right thing happens, and for me it came through Dustin, and it introduced me to a program that I didn't know that I needed, okay? So I'm going to tell you a little bit more about that, but let me bring you guys back a little further. So 10 years ago, let me go back a little further. So 2018 is when I found this program. Okay, here's my true thoughts about coaching. I thought coaching was a scam. I thought it was all a money grab. I didn't need coaching. I don't have to do real estate. Like Dustin said, I sold 100, whatever units. And honestly, to me, it was all vanity metrics. If you want to know the truth, you can ask my wife. She's sitting over here. I was working about 80 hours a week from my home office. absolutely hated real estate, but I didn't know what to do. I'd been in the business for almost 10 years at that time. It was me and an assistant, and I was absolutely tired. I was using every resource that I could, never got away. If you saw pictures of me on vacation, it's me on my phone, things of that nature. Never could get away from that. And I just thought there has to be a better way. So when I was ready to quit, Dustin came into my life and said, hey Ryan, I want to tell you about this program that's changed my life. And so I started to listen, okay? So fast forward a little bit, I came to an event, I heard some speakers, and the speaker that was up there that day, she said something that absolutely resonated with me. She told me how she worked a 40-hour week, how she was making net over $1 million per year. She had life balance. She was talking about going and playing golf with her husband. She had this amazing team. She had this amazing business. And I didn't think it was possible. Not at all. Didn't think it was all possible. So I got to know Dustin for about 2 years, and I ended up, I just kept saying no. Like, it's not for me, it's not for me, it's not for me. Fast forward to 2018. I decided to join this program called Core that I knew nothing about. So coming in here, I want to give you guys some numbers. So coming in 2018, I was making about $200,000. And within a 2-year period, and by following the simple systems and structures, and I surrendered this program, guys. I was all in. So within 2 years, went from making $200,000, 2 years, 1.2 net, $1.2 million net. The main thing I can tell you is if somebody like me can do this, this can be any of you guys. Here's the beauty of the program. I saw about 50-50. There's half mortgage, mortgage lenders in here. There's half realtors. Just like Dustin and Laura were saying, we are a community. Okay? We're a community. Our Inland Empire, wherever you guys are from here, we're a community. That's why we're putting this event on here today, is we want to show you guys what's worked for us. And this is a program where if you follow the steps, I promise you it will work. Okay? So, before I bring up the man of the hour, I want to tell you guys, this man has changed my life. This program has changed my life. The Core is a community. The Core is a family. We refer each other. We support each other. But here's what Rick Ruby and the Core have done for my life, okay? So I want to talk about 3 things. 1, I had to admit that I was broken. So I learned 3 things. Number 1, I'm broken. Number 2, I had to learn I hate it. How many of you hate being broken? Good. A few of us. Some of us need to be a little bit more broken, right? So I'm broken, I hate it, and I am going to find the resources to fix it. That is number 3. I'm going to do whatever it takes to get the help to fix it. So I'm broken, I hate it, I'm going to do whatever it takes to fix it. Those are the 3 things that I've learned, you guys. If you can implement those, I promise you that will be the start to changing your lives. If you don't like where you're at in your business this year, take that. Use that right now. I'm broken, I hate it, I'm going to do whatever it takes to fix it. Okay? So, I want to bring up the man that's changed my life, you guys. The owner of the Core, head coach Rick Ruby.
I've helped 2,200 people in the last 23 years net $1 million. And I think for me, that's what it's about. Like for a long time, it was about me accumulating wealth. And we're going to work on 3 basic things that they have to decide. I want you to write down the first decision that you got to make. Am I about freedom or am I about capitalism? Now let me help you. You can't have both. You're either about capitalism and money matters, or you're about freedom. These are your choice. You got to make out of the gate. Is getting paid important, or is coming in at 11 o'clock, wearing sweatpants, wearing a baseball hat, being cool, hanging out with your friends, golfing all day? I don't do any of that. So you either choose freedom or you choose capitalism. You cannot choose both. You cannot have both things. That's the first question you got to ask yourself. Second question you got to ask yourself: is it going to be transactional? Or is it going to be relational? Write down, is it going to be transactional? They don't know you. They don't like you, they don't trust you, or is it relational? People that know you, they like you, and trust you. Who's ever worked cold leads? Transaction leads? Really fun, isn't it? Oh my God, it's fun. It's really, really fun. Who's ever had a good friend say, hey, come sell my house and do my loan? Way more fun, much more business. So I decided early on, I was going to be a capitalist, and I was going to be relational. Like a lot of you, I didn't have a good start. I didn't go to college. I didn't have really well-off parents. I didn't have a good plan. How many of you didn't really have a great start to life? It wasn't really a great start. You know, maybe it wasn't horrible. Maybe some of your stories were really worse than others. But I think that overcoming some adversity is the key to going far. Now, what kind of people, when you meet people that are really well off, where did they start? They started horrible. Like drug dealers become pastors. I mean, broke people become rich people. I mean, people that can't read write books. I mean, the farther you're overcoming, the farther you go. So some of you need to take a deeper look in the mirror at your current situation. I probably would think it was not so great. Time to change. You know, the average realtor last year made how much money? Anybody know? $8,000. Average lender made $32,000. $32,000 for the lender. Voltaire. 500. Let's see that.
I'll get the
Voltaire's one of my clients from San Diego. He's one of the cool cats. It's a little late for me. I don't really like it. Okay. $500 fine. Not a big deal. I'll pay for my lunch today. Okay. Glad to see you. We'll wait, Voltaire. Don't worry. We'll wait. Take your time. You ready? Cool. I'm glad you're in. So Voltaire's from San Diego. I had a lot of clients come up from San Diego. Alfonso, David Fletes, Voltaire, Bryce. So I have a lot of clients all over. Like California's a big state, so I have a lot of lower California clients. So what do? I teach capitalism to realtors and lenders. I've been doing it for 30 years. I've been a lender for 40 years. I'm a really good lender. I have a branch. I close about 250 loans a month. I do right around 750 million as a lender, which is a lot. I have a coaching company where I have 400 clients that pay me 40 grand a year. So that's about 16 million just in my level 3 coaching division. I consult to a billionaire. That's the greatest job in the world. You tell him how cool he is, how great he is. He sends me big checks, and I consult to a billionaire. And I'm a big investor in the stock market. So I have 4 full-time jobs. I put it in solid 60 every week. And people always ask me, why do you still work so hard when you have all this money? Because I want to keep the money rolling. I want to keep the train going. I don't want it to slow down. Because I always remember what it was like before I had some money. Always remember that. And I'm like, I don't want that life. So I'm working for my great grandkids. I'm working for my clients. I'm working for my employees. Make some money. So we're going to learn today some things about capitalism. And I think if you look at your life, most of you are probably choosing money. Freedom. You're not choosing capitalism. You're choosing freedom. Or you're doing the wrong work. You're not putting in the right work to make the right money. It'd be like if I hired us all to dig ditches today, I wouldn't hire anybody to dig ditches, okay? But if I hired any of us to dig ditches, I wouldn't be measuring by how sharp your shovel was. I wouldn't be measuring how measured the hole is. I would measure how deep the hole is. Did we actually dig the ditches? So we're in the sales business, so you have to track how many hours you sell a day. I require 4 hours a day of sales activities. 4 hours a day of sales activities. Now, is there a lot of busy work in real estate lending? Heck yes. A ton of paperwork in the mortgage business, ton of work on real estate, listing prep, buyer prep, follow-up. There's a lot of work in real estate lending. It has nothing to do with selling. We're going to work out what it takes to sell, what it takes to get clients. Because in our industry, it's more millionaires in real estate and lending than any other 2 industries. More people make $1 million in real estate and lending than any other business. So we're in the right business. You're just doing it wrong. And I think that when I look at life, I really look at life and when I'm meeting with a client or a potential client, and just so you know, every time I do a talk, I get 10 new clients. 2 fizzle out, 4 triple, 4 10x. So I take people from 200 to 1 million, that's a 5x. I've taken people like Laura to 2 million. Ryan's a local realtor doing about 130 million, puts up 12 deals a month. Dustin and Laura each do over 100 million as lenders. They make a lot of money. And when you make a lot of money, you get a really good life. Now, you don't get to enjoy it that much because you're working all the time, but you get really good. You get really nice stuff that you don't get to use all the time because you're trying to keep the machine going. So I wish I could tell you that, gosh, we're going to take a pill and we're going to just sell lots of houses and we're going to make tons of money and you're going to work 20 hours a week and you're going to have so much fun and it's going to be so great. That's everybody else's events, it's not my events. My events is lace up the boots, go to work every day early, stay late, make a lot of phone calls, see a lot of people. No magic, but it flat out works. 23 years I've been a coach. Imagine 2,200 people that made $1 million that didn't make $1 million before they met me. Now, why that number is important to me? I come up in the 70s, all pro athletes made how much? $1 million. Now, how many of you at one time thought it had some dream to be an athlete? Rich Helms, everybody wanted to be an athlete. Oh my God, yeah, I'm 6 foot tall, 185 pounds, dripping wet. I'm not going to be in the NFL, I'm not going to be in the NBA, you know, it's not going to happen. So, but you come up and you see those numbers of these pro athletes now. 30 million, 50 million, it's kind of crazy. So that number was always in my head that you really arrived when you made $1 million. Really arrived in your business when you made $1 million. What could you do? Well, let's see, you can live in a $3 million house, $3 million house if you make $1 million. You can have really nice cars. Your kids can go to really good colleges. You can help them get married. You can help them buy a house. You can go on lots of cool vacations. You can have a really good staff. Now, let's talk about the first thing that I work on when I work with somebody, what is their vision? So let's talk about the perfect vision for realtors and lenders. The perfect vision, I want you to write this down, is 20 warm leads. The most important thing in your business is 20 warm leads that know you, like you, and trust you. If I gave every one of you 20 warm leads a month, how many of you would blow up? Raise your hand if you blow up, you got 20 more warm leads a month. Listen, you guys are nuts. If I get you 20 warm leads, you'll blow up. How many of you will blow up if you had 20 warm leads a month? I'm telling you, raise your hand. This is the secret to what it takes to make money, is you gotta have warm leads. 20, that's 5 a week, warm leads, you gotta generate. Now if I give you these 20 warm leads, you're gonna make lots of money. You're gonna convert lots of these deals. Now out of those 20 leads as a realtor, you're gonna do 4 transactions a month. 4 transactions a month. Luckily down here, that'll be a lot of money because every house down here is like $10 million. So it's like pretty easy to make some money in California because the houses are bigger. So 4 deals a month. For the lenders, you got to do 6. Raise your hand if you're a lender and try to see what I got. Okay, look. You need 6 deals a month as a lender. You need 4 deals a month as a realtor. You need 1 full-time W-2 assistant. How many of you realtors had an assistant on a 1099? Raise your hand if you realtors had an assistant on a 1099. It never works out. You know what? Doesn't work out. Doesn't work for you being a 1099. Why? Yeah. And I've told you several times in the last couple of years you need to fire your current boss. What have I told you? He's his own boss. He needs to fire his boss. He needs to hire somebody else. So I think that very talented, very charming, very confused, likes a lot of freedom, that will never make a lot of money. If you want a really fun life, you are not going to get paid really, really well. If you want to knuckle down, follow a plan, you'll blow up. So it starts with your vision. So let's start off with a vision of making $300,000 to $500,000 a year. You need 20 warm leads. You need 1 full-time assistant that is in an office from 9:30 to 5 on a W-2. Your assistant has to be on a W-2. You have to go through a payroll company and you have to have an assistant. So we get 20 warm leads. We get 4 sides as a realtor, we get 6 sides as a lender, we get 1 full-time assistant. That's the baseline of a business. That's the base. And then when you get to Ryan and Laura and Dustin and some of my clients, they've doubled their baseline or tripled their baseline. So I do it in numbers of 4 and numbers of 6. So every 4 transactions, you're going to get 1 full-time assistant. Every 6 transactions as a lender, you're going to get 1 full-time assistant. I'll get there. I got a better chance of getting there too. So, it's true, I take a lot of calls from clients and close a lot of their clients for them because we don't close. What do we not do? We just what? We just talk. We don't close. Do you want to sell your house? Do you want to buy a house? Do you want to get a loan? That needs to be said about 20 times a day. So I want you to write down this as an assignment that you close 20 times a day. Current clients, past clients, warm leads, cold leads, you close 20 times a day, you'll get deals. It's not complicated. You ask people, let me sell your house. Let me help you buy a house. Let me do a loan. You get paid. You close some deals. Most of you, never close. Never you ask the client for business. Ever. You just hang out. You just hope. Really, really hopeful. Some of you are double finger crossed up. Really, really hoping. I'm really, really hoping that I get paid. You're not determined to get this done because you don't have a clear vision of what you got to hit. Now that model, 20 leads, 46 closings, and an assistant, optional or what? Mandatory. I love that word. Everything in my life is what? Mandatory. Everything is mandatory. Fitness, mandatory. Be a good husband, mandatory. Honor God, mandatory. Make a lot of money, mandatory. Make money in the stock market, mandatory. Be fit, mandatory. Everything is mandatory. Nothing is optional. America loves what word? Optional. Oh, maybe I'll do this. Maybe I'll do this to you. He's one of my most confused clients I've ever had. The most charming man I've ever known in my life. I'm a realtor. I'm a lender. I'm a title guy. I'm what else was he? A dream coach for a while. He has all these different plans about doing well, and then none of them really do well. But I'll tell you this, very charming, very charismatic. Now, I'm not. So for those of you that are not super bubbly, how many are not super outgoing bubbly? It's not in your personality. Okay, can we still make a lot of money? Yep. But you got to have a really clear plan that you execute really well. So number one, you need a clear vision. We're going to talk about getting you 20 warm leads today. We're going to talk about hiring an assistant. We're going to talk about closing 4 sides a month. So taking your average sales price, if you're a realtor, and your average mortgage amount if you're a lender, figure out what you'll make on 4 deals as a realtor, 6 deals as a lender. Figure out what you're going to make. So Ryan, your average sales price is? 900. 900. Dustin, your average mortgage amount? 550. Laura? 550. So that should be about average in town. So on 4 deals, you're making a pretty good living. Now, there are you that are going to double that model, and some of you are going to triple that model. Some of you are going to be 18 to 20 closings a month as a lender. Some of you are going to be 8 to 12 deals as a realtor because you want to make big money. You want to have a really big business. You want to do big things in life. What's the greatest thing about making a lot of money? I have none. I'm in California. You know how long it took me to get here yesterday? I left my house at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I got here at like 10:30 last night. Planes were delayed 3 hours. Missed the connection. Ontario. I thought I'd go to Canada when I saw it on the ticket. I'm going to go to Canada. I'm going to California. Okay? All day long traveling. I'll be all day long tomorrow going home. It's a lot of work. There's not a lot of freedom. Now I have 4th of July in my new house on the lake with my kids, my 5 grandkids. We ate, we boated, we jet skied, we tubed, we cooked, we swam in the pool. Had a great time. Actually took Friday off. Big day for me, had Friday off. Big day. Worked Wednesday till 7. Took Thursday off because it was a holiday. Took Friday, Saturday, and Sunday off with my kids. I might do that 5 times a year. I don't go on long vacations. Why? What happens when you're on vacation in our business? Falls apart. How many people go on vacation, your business is falling apart? Raise your hand, your business is falling apart. It's really gotten ugly. Things have gone sideways. So, you need a clear vision. You need a clear plan. You need lots of accountability. These are the things it takes. Now, first question, capitalism or freedom? I think it's the obvious choice. I think with me, it's about getting paid well. It's about accumulating wealth. It's about paying a lot of taxes. It's about giving a lot of money to charity. It's about providing for your family. My kids have an easy life. They're 40 and 37. They went to really nice colleges. I paid for. They live in really nice houses. I paid for. Their kids will all go to college. I'll pay for it. They have minimal worries because I had what? Lots of worries. How many are the main provider in your family? Raise your hand if it's up to you. You're the provider of that family. You're going to get it done. You're the one that has to provide the lifestyle that you choose for your family. Now, I grew up really a tough life. My dad was a garbage man. My mom worked at Sears. They worked all the time. We didn't have much of anything. I decided that life wasn't for me. So when I met some people that were like doing really well, want to get mine? What kind of phone do I have? What? I don't text, I don't email, I don't blueberry, I don't gaggle, raspberry. I've never been on a computer, I've never been online, I've never searched anything on a computer in my life. I make calls and I get calls. That's all I do. I make 30 outbound a day. I probably talk to 22 people a day on the phone. This is the magic. There's got to be a number that you handle. Now, do you think people make more money that are on the phone or more money on texting? Phone. People on the phone, it's a proven fact, make more money than people that texting. If I would follow you for the day, would you make more texts or more phone calls? What would you make? You would, good for you. How many make more texts than phone calls? Raise your hand, be honest. More texts than phone calls. You have no interest in getting paid. Nobody is going to do business on a text. The rule is somebody texts you, you what, JP? You call them back. They're like, oh my God, why are you calling me? It's an emergency. Yes, it's an emergency. I need to buy a house right away. It's an emergency. So listen, stop texting. Stop emailing. Start calling. Now what's the second choice we got to pick?
Transactional relationship.
What is an email and a text? What is a phone call? That's the second choice to the second question of the day. The first question is, am I going to get paid? I got a client here in the room that is with me that, I don't know what word I can use. I want to say disgusts me, but we'll say highly annoys me. He says he wants capitalism, but he doesn't do the work to have capitalism because he hasn't chosen capitalism. If he chose capitalism, he'd make more calls, he'd stay late, he'd see more people, he'd work on the weekend, he'd get it done. But instead, he's like, not doing great financially, struggling. And it's like, why are you paying to go away or change? Like, I have like a 97% success rate in my program. The clients that pay me double to 10x their money because I'm not going to have them if they're not going to do the work. I have money. I don't need anybody's money. I need more victories. More victories are my client growing up. More Laura's, more Dustin's, more Alfonso's, more Voltaire's. More people blowing up is what it's about for me at this point. For most people, it's about getting paid. And it was about that for a long time for me. Up until about 10 years ago, how big a tax return can I have? How big a bank account did you get? And then it gets so big, you say, what? What's the point? You got to find another purpose. So I'm telling you, next to the word capitalism, put purpose. Capital. Providing for your family. Giving to charities that you believe in. Making a difference in the planet. You got two choices. You could go on missions, or you could fund missions. I'm just telling you, I'm honored the people that go out there and change the planet. They feed the homeless, they build houses for habitat, they go down and they work at the animal shelter. I love people that go on missions. For me, I chose a long time ago, I was going to what? Go on them or fund them? I'm going to fund them. And I write a lot of checks to a lot of charities. I will tell you the three numbers that you need to write down that matter in life, in business. Do I make $1 million? Do I have $1 million? And what's the big one, right? No, here. Do I give $1 million? So when you make $1 million, you're doing something really big. You're rare. And just so you know, next to $1 million, right, 1/10 of 1% makes $1 million. 1/10 of 1% of America makes $1 million. 1/10 of 1%. Wow, those odds are stacked against you. You got to really surround yourself with people that are driven, people that are committed, people that want to do well. So 1/10 of 1% makes $1 million. That has $1 million. Getting $1 million in the bank, having $1 million gives you about a $60,000 guaranteed income every year. How many are going to retire in LA on $60,000 a year? None of you. So it ain't enough money. So just so you know, it needs to be $3 million in the bank to have any kind of retirement whatsoever. That will give you 180 grand a year retirement. You need $3 million in the bank as fast as you can get there. So if you make a lot of money and you save 20% of it, you can accumulate wealth quicker. Now, last month I made 3.5% in the stock market. Do the math. I made so much money last month, it's ridiculous. I can't even spend my money because I spent years hoarding it. And I'm telling you, some things we're going to talk about today is hoarding money. Hoarding. I'm talking about investing it, saving it, skimping on everything, using coupons, going on the low cost on everything, inexpensive cars, so you can accumulate that wealth so someday it will what? It'll pay you. My money pays me fat money now. It just pays me interest every month, every day. Just big numbers come in because for years I packed that money in the stock market because somebody taught me. It's not about what you make, it's about what you accumulate that changes the planet. And your interest can start paying things. So we're going to talk about little things about money. So I think that, are we going to choose capitalism or are we going to choose freedom? I think if I followed you all around, including Laura and Dustin and Ryan, I would say, except for Ryan, they choose what? Freedom. Ryan chooses capitalism. He works too much. So, my wife thinks I work too much, but here's what I'm saying. I work a hard 60. I work 6 days a week. I work 5/11s, and I probably work 5 on Saturday every single week. I'm super present at home. I coached all my kids in Little League when they were coming up. I see my grandkids 8 times a year. It's enough. I got grandkids from 5 to 10. It's enough. That's enough time. I'm like, go home. The weekends, go early, get home early and rest, okay? You're wearing me out, okay? So, but I think that I love them. They're going to have a really good life. Here's what will happen for my grandkids. They will all go to a state college, in-state. One lives in North Carolina, one lives in Florida. They'll go to in-state college for free. They'll get a car when they're 17. They'll get a wedding for 40 grand when they get married. They'll get 20% down on their first house. And then they'll inherit some money when their parents are gone. So I'm trying to make their life a little easier than my life. How many of you have children? Raise your hand if you have children. How many want their life to be a little easier than your life? Now what we don't want is what? You don't want to give them too much, oh my God! Then they get entitled and lazy and they don't work. At about 12, my oldest daughter came home. I've always liked big houses. How many like big houses? I like big real estate. I just think owning a big house is the best thing in the world. I grew up in a mobile home, so when I bought my first house, it was quite a thing. So for me, pulling up in a driveway to a really nice house always made me feel successful. And let's be clear, what's the #1 way to accumulate wealth in the world? Real estate. What's the #2 way to accumulate wealth? Stock market. So you have to be in real estate, and you have to be in the stock market. We'll talk a little bit about investing today and what to do with the money. So my 12-year-old daughter comes home. She looks at me. She says, Daddy, my friends say we're rich. I says, no, honey, I'm rich. Your future's not rich. Tell them that's the truth. What they want to be is up to them. So my kids decide, well, I'm going to be a teacher. Great, be a teacher. They can be teachers. Why? Because I provide them with the life so they can be teachers. So both my kids are teachers. One was a second-grade teacher, one was a high school teacher. She hated that life. She had this vision that she would be this high school teacher and inspire all these kids and create this great environment. And then she realized high school is not like that anymore. But she works for me now. She's a really good worker, but she's not in sales. Because in sales, it's eat what you kill. This is the world we're in. Eat what you kill. Some of you look hungry. You ain't killing Jack. You ain't out there knocking the cover off the ball. You ain't getting it done. Some of you ain't even going to bat. You ain't even in the game. You ain't even serious about this industry. You're just goofing around. And some of you, like Laura said, you're super driven. You're going to figure it out. You're going to do well. People that have made it on their own, that self-made with no coaching and no mentoring, what do you think the percentage is? Less than 1% of all successful people did it on their own. That's the third question you got to decide. Who's going to get you where you're going? Who's going to coach you? Who's going to mentor you? Who are you going to work with? Now, let's talk about mentoring and coaching. Mentoring is you have someone in your life that's successful at something. They give you advice. They give you direction. They give you their opinion. That's mentoring. Now, let's talk about coaching. Everybody confuses like leadership and coaching. So, everybody in the planet has to be a leader. Raise your hand, you agree. You have to be a leader. Everybody raise your hand. You have to be a leader of some form or another. You have to be a leader. You have to influence some people. So write down leadership equals influence. So you have to influence some people in your life. You have to influence your kids, your spouses, your community, people you believe in, organizations you're part of. We all have to be leaders. But there are some people that are leadership trainers and they train on leadership. It's not me. It's not what I do. Because leadership is about influence. Coaching is about execution and winning. So write down, coaching is about executing a play and winning. I call it play, these three run. They don't vary it, they don't change it, they don't alter it. say what I say, they call who I say to call, they do what I say, they win. They get to parade. I don't get to parade. They get to parade. I get to join knowing that I was part of it. So I'm not really a leadership trainer, I'm not really a sales trainer, I'm a capitalist coach. I coach some financial planners. I will tell you a story about my church. So I go to a church, I'm pretty heavily involved. I give them a lot of money. The pastor comes to me. There's a dinner with me and my wife, another couple, and the pastor. What did I know? When is it? I must be a bigger donor, okay? We must be a bigger donor. So I go to this dinner, and he says, Rick, would you love to get involved in the church? I said, yeah, you want me to be a greeter? No. That's not what you mean, a greeter. What are you doing in church with flip-flop? Where's your Bible when you come to church, young man? I don't think he wants me greeting the people in the church. So he says, Rick, I got a great job for you. You coach a lot of business people. You teach them all how to make money. I want to give you 10 of my business owners that go to the church. I want you to whoop them into shape. They all want to grow. Teach them all how to make more money so they can what? Give more to the church. This is right up my alley. This is exactly what I want to do. I want to yell at people. They get paid and they write checks. It's like, woo! It's like Halloween candy all the time. Unbelievable. So I get these 10 business people. There's 5 that have survived. I've had the group for 5 years. I have a plumber for 17 years. When I started work with him, he made 170 grand. Last year he netted $2.3 million as a plumber, doing the same things we're doing here. A couple things we're going to work on today. We're going to work on our vision. He had a vision to make $1 million. We worked on the whales. So what we did with him is I asked him who his best client was. He said property managers. So we made a list of all 35 property managers in North Carolina. He called them all, visited them all, locked up 10 of them. So now he has 75,000 properties under management for these 9 different property managers, and he maintains all their plumbing. One bill, 25 houses, 50 houses, and he's blown up. No advertising, no radio, no direct mail campaigns, just went after a target audience. We're going to do a little whale hunting today, because whales are, that's the secret. Right? If you're a realtor, write down these 2 whales. If you're a realtor. If you're a realtor, you want to chase building owners that own buildings, and you want to chase business owners that have 20 employees. So if you're a realtor, everybody that owns a building has some what? Money. And if they got money coming in of that building, they want to do what? Buy a Big Mac Daddy house. So we want to chase building owners. We want to chase business owners that are at B&I groups. How many go to a B&I group regularly? Raise your hand. Waste of time, the worst waste of time ever. Bunch of broke people selling Amway, doing network marketing, all want to hang out, get some deals from each other. Don't go to any B&I, don't go to chamber events. They're not there. Broke people are at those events. So if you want to do something that really makes a difference, where you get in front of some successful people, I like Rotary. Anybody in Rotary? Rotary is a really good program. But there's people that go to Rotary, and there's people that work Rotary. I was in Rotary for 20 years. I work Rotary. Let me tell you how you work Rotary. Join your local Rotary. It's either a breakfast meeting or a lunch meeting once a week. Every week you're sitting at a table of 10 people. You sit at a different stinking table every single time. And you work that table, and you get them talking about their businesses. Then the money's made where? Follow-up is where the money is always made. The money is made in the follow-up that next week. Hey, I really like your view on our city council building remodel. I really like your views on Christmas. And you talk to them about what they talked about at the table. Keep your mouth shut about what you do. Like, nobody's interested in your 30-second commercial about your business. So one of the things I would teach you, I believe in ATMs. You got to make a deposit before you make a what? Withdrawal. You make a deposit. There's a movie that I based my company on called Pay It Forward. Have you ever seen it? It's an old movie out a long time. I want y'all to watch it. Track it down and watch that movie, Pay It Forward. About a kid. He's in 7th grade geography class. And the teacher gives him an assignment to change the planet. These are 12, 13-year-olds. Got to change the planet. So he goes home, he divides it. If I help 3 people so much that they feel obligated to do what? Help 3 people, help 3 people, help their 2. So he had this idea, he presented to class, went over really well. So now he's going to go put it into effect. So he gives a homeless person a sandwich. Did it change a homeless person's life? No. Nothing happened. Because he didn't do what? He didn't do enough. He didn't bring enough value to this person's life that the person felt obligated to do something back. So then he went back and he took the homeless person and he went to a local motel and he got the guy a job working at the hotel as a handyman, had him fixing his wife's car, and that guy then turned his life and then affected some other people. And in the end of this movie, this kid died protecting a fellow kid who was being bullied in his school and he got stabbed. And at his house, at like this memorial, was like 1,000 people there, all holding a candle up to this kid. So I want you to track this movie down called Pay It Forward, and I want it to be the foundation of your stinking business, that you make some big impact in some people's life. Some big impact. Big impact. That makes a change so that they feel what? Obligated to do what? Give you whatever you want. If that kid was a realtor, Alfonso, would he be busy? Oh, yeah. He'd be $1 million producer. Yep. I'm just telling you, you got to make a difference. You got to make a big difference. You got to shake them up. We just don't make a difference. We just what? Float. Just coast. We got a great commercial that we want to give everybody about us. Oh my God, I got this great commercial why you should use me. It's not important. If you did enough value, would you need a commercial, JB? Or would you just come running to you? Yeah. Now, if they like you, they'll use you. If they trust you, they'll what? Refer you. So I'm a local business person in North Carolina. I've got 80 employees locally in North Carolina. I've got about 200 employees across the country in my mortgage business and my coaching business. If a guy came to me and said, Rick, what do you need? I always need new employees. And he went out and found me some new employees. And he has a financial planner. Would I give him money to invest with him? Yes. But he's looking, they come to me and they look for what? They look to get something from me. They don't look to what? They don't look to bring something to the table. So in relationship-based selling, you've got to bring a real value. Now, I will tell you this. Friendship and interest is a good value. Being friends, being interested in their life, asking them about their family, asking them about their weekend. Being interested and being friendly is a value. It's going to piddle out like little coins. You're not going to get $100 bills out of the ATM machine, but it's a start. Is to be interested in them, be committed to them. But everybody has a what? A need. Has a need they really need in their life, whether it's about their business or their personal life. And when you fill that need, it will what? Spew business towards you. It will dump referrals towards you. You'll be busy. And then if you're out there just making deposits and making deposits and making deposits and making deposits, and you're helping and you're guiding and you're teaching and you're not always looking for something, what will happen? Comes back to you. So that's capitalism, that's relationship marketing. So let's talk about this here. This is my playbook. This is my playbook for the lenders. This is my playbook for the realtors. Okay, trace your hand on a piece of paper. Trace your hand on a clean piece of paper. Trace your hand on a clean piece of paper. Your hand is too big for the paper. Trace your hand on a piece of paper. Run your little fancy devices that you all like up here. Little, what they write on, what do they call them, remarkables or something? They write on. So let's talk about the base of our business, the palm of our hand, the palm of our hand, the palm of our hand. So if you're a realtor, the base of my business plan is 40 people you care about locally. 40 local people if you're a realtor. So if you're a realtor, just write down 40 local people that you care about, that you're committed to making deposits to. For the lenders, it goes in this finger. Those 40 people go right here in this index finger. Put 40 people you care about locally. For the lenders, 40 good realtors right here is the foundation of a business if you're a lender. 40 really good realtors. Like here it doesn't say he's got 17 really good realtors because he's a slacker. That's why he has 17 realtors, not 40. He needs to go get 23 new realtor relationships that he can pour into, and he can teach, and he can get them paid on time. He can help them with their lives. He can help them with their business. But for the realtors, 40 local people. So when you leave here today, homework number 1. After the movie is number 1. Homework number 2. If you're a realtor in the parking lot, I want you to pick 40 people on your phone when you scroll, just so you know this holds 145 names. Or some of the names are told. So I have 145 important people on that. Okay, so listen, pick your phone out. Pick 40 people that you really like. I don't care who they are. How many probably have 1,000 in your phone? Raise your hand, you have 1,000 in your phone. Okay, so we're going to pick 40 that you really like in the phone. Yeah, I like him, like her, don't like him, don't like her. Just pick 40 people you like them. Well, I don't care what they do for a living. I don't care if they're movers and shakers. I don't care if they're broke. What's the American dream? Home ownership. What's the real American dream? Big home ownership. Okay? Big home ownership is the real American dream. I'm just telling you. I have a coach that works for me, lives up in Northern California. She says, Rick, I have a cottage. I said, well, what is your cottage worth? She has like a 1,500 square foot house that's worth like $2.5 million. So I guess even, it's super expensive up to Northern California. So I just think that everybody's dream is to own a home. Everybody's real dream is to own a big home. And everybody wants to move up and get a better home. Now, we're going to talk about why they should move up. In a little while, we're going to talk about a term in investing called what? ROI, return on investment. I'm going to teach you how to talk to your clients into moving up to a bigger house. First of all, how much house can you afford, Alfonso, in California?
4 to 5 times.
4 to 5 times what you make. In the rest of the world, how much can you afford? 3 times what you make. So what's the problem here, Ryan, when they buy a house 5 times what they make? They're house poor. So part of the problem in California, to buy a house you can afford, house poor. So they're going to have to really, really be focused on watching their money and being on a budget and taking care of it. But in most of America, 3 times what you make, you can stretch and go to 5 times what you make. You all need to know that. So when you're talking to clients, you look what? Intelligent. Say, well, how much do you make? 300 grand. You can probably buy a house, but I don't know how much house you can buy. It doesn't sound very intelligent. So you say you got to make $300,000. You can buy anywhere from $900,000 to $1,500,000. That's how much house you can buy, depending on how much payment you can stomach. Now, we want people to have how big a payment? High or low? High. Debt motivation is the greatest motivator in the world. We want our clients in debt tax deductible. We want them striving. I'll give you a fact. How many have bought a house in the last 3 years? Rachel, you bought a house in the last 3 years. Good. Did your income go up? Yes. Everybody that buys a new house, what happens, Gabe? So what should everybody do? Yes. Everybody should buy a bigger house because it's a proven fact. It'll make you make more money. Now, how many have had a house over the last 5 years? 5 years, that house. Did it go up in value? How much? Tons. Now, let's talk about the return on investment. Let's take a $1 million house. Break down $1 million house. $1 million house. Put down 10%. What's the down payment? Lenders help them out. $100,000. So what's the investment, JP? $100,000. Now that house is going to go up 2 to 5% a year. So let's say it goes up 10% over 3 years. How much did it go up in value? 100,000. What's the ROI? 100%. Break down. Buy $1 million house, put down 10%. The house goes up 10%. It's only a 10% return on the house, but the investment was only 100 grand. So if you buy a house with 10% down, in 3 years, you will guarantee double your investment anywhere in America. That's only getting a 3% appreciation on the house. Because that house is a leveraged investment. They didn't pay $1 million for the house. They didn't put $1 million down. They paid $1 million for the house. They only put $100,000 down, went to $100,000 in value. Now, most people that bought a house 5 years ago, we bought a house 5 years ago. JP, what'd you pay for it? 970. What's it worth? 4. So you made $500,000. How much did you put down? So you put 200 down. It's going on 500. What's the return on investment? 250%. So Warren Buffett would like your advice, okay? 250% in 5 years is pretty well. Pretty amazing. So we got to show clients what they're making. So I'm going to give you an assignment right now. I want you to call 20 past clients. Call 20 past clients and look up their house and tell them what they've made on their house. Say, hey, JP, you bought the house for $900. I think it's worth $1.4 million. You made $500 grand in 5 years to do what? Eat, sleep, and poop, and you got paid. Is that not amazing? Say that exactly to them right there, and say, hey, you know you can afford 3 to 5 times what you make. Are you ready for a bigger investment to start making even more money? Call 20 past clients. Tell them what they paid for the house. Tell them what the value of the house is today. Show them how much they made on the house. So first we're going to watch a movie. Ooh, it's so difficult, so painful, so much homework. About making deposits with people instead of making withdrawals. We all want to make a lot. Man, you want to walk up to the ATM machine. You want to put in your little code. You want the money to come out. Money come out. Money come out. But for most of you it says what? Overdrawn. Overdrawn because you didn't make many what? Not making a deposit. You're not thinking in the morning, hey, I'm going to change 20 people's lives today. 20. I'm going to make sure that I make my dials. I'm going to make a big difference. I'm going to blow them away. I'm going to fire them up. I'm going to excite them. I'm going to teach them something good. I'm going to be interested in their life. I'm going to make a deposit today. So when it comes time at the end of the call, I can make a what? Hey, who else do you know that wants to buy a house and make a lot of money in real estate? Write down that script. Who else do you know that wants to make a lot of money in real estate? Who else do you know that wants to get fat paid in real estate? Don't say that, JP. That was a joke. You got the joke, okay? Who else do you know that wants to make a lot of money in real estate? Because I want to help them. I want them to be part of the American dream. That's an easy script. That we're calling these past clients, we're going to call 20 of them. That you're not calling them as what? Embarrassing. Listen, I've had 25 houses. I've moved a lot. I just always felt like buy a house, live in it 3 years, sell it, buy a house, live in it 3 years, sell it. How many have moved a lot? Anybody else? Those people have a lot of money. Why, Ryan? Just appreciates those houses. You buy a house, you fix it up. I will tell you, anybody that stays in the house more than 7 years is not a good capitalist. Why? You buy it, you fix it up, then it starts to get what? A little dated. So I'm just telling you, about 7 years is the lifetime you want to spend in the house. How many have been in your house more than 7 years? Capitalism don't matter to you, young man. Don't matter to you. Capitalism matters to me. Okay? Listen. Oh, it's my dream home. No, it ain't. Go find another dream home. Listen. I got a girl who works for me. Was making like 200. Now she makes like 800. Lives in a $600,000 house. Oh, I love our house. It's the greatest house ever. I want to put a pool in this. We ain't put a pool in. You're moving. Oh, no. We love our house. We're going to put in a pool. You never get your money out when you put in a pool. You get your money out when you buy a house. So I'm like, here's what you're going to do. You're going to go on a date Friday night. You go to a restaurant. You're going to look at one house for $1.7 million just for fun. No commitment. No, oh, I want it. You're doing it. It's not really a suggestion. It's an order. What do you think happened the day after she looked at the house? She bought the doggone house that she looked at. Okay? I'm just telling you. You love your house. You go see a house at a new price point. What do you do, Alfonso?
Buy it.
You buy it. And then what'll happen to your income? What'll happen to your appreciation? Magic. Any of you that own a home have been through this, your income has gone up and your house appreciated. You've made money on your real estate, but you didn't buy it as an investment, you bought it as a home. Listen, mine's a home that I'm getting paid on, and I'm just telling you, this is what you got to do with your clients. You got to get them to buy bigger real estate. You got to get them to mortgage the house, not get it free and clear, because what would happen if you had it free and clear? Like, I'm a horrible real estate investor. What? Lower. Everything I own is free and clear. So my ROI is higher or lower? Lower, because I don't, my last house I bought for $2.3 million. I had it for 7 years. I sold it for $4.3 million. I owned it free and clear. So the return on the investment was only what? 100%. I only doubled my money. Where if I'd had a mortgage and put $500 down, that money would have went up 8 times. So you don't want to have a house free and clear. You want to have a mortgage because it gives you that debt motivation to make you earn more money, and it leverages your investment so you make a better return on investment. So I think you got to get your mind right, and you got to decide to start making some deposits. I have clients here that are my clients that love withdrawals. They don't love what?
Deposits.
What do they love, Bryce?
Withdrawals.
What do they not love?
Deposits.
How do you make more withdrawals?
Deposits.
Make more deposits. So I got clients that pour into me, and they do a lot for my business. They refer me a lot of clients. I feel so obligated that I've got to find some way to go out, take care of them, and help them, and work on them, and make sure they're making money. Imagine that cycle. They're trying to take care of me. I'm trying to take care of them. They're taking care of me. I'm taking care of them. Will that be fruitful in any relationship? Your kids, your spouse, will that motto work out? So we want to pay it forward. We want to make a lot of deposits with people so we can get some returns back. We want to give something, and we all have something to give. Interest in them, friendship, knowledge, a push, motivation, some recreation. Find something you can do to make an impact in these 40 people's life that you know, and I'll teach you how to work that group. And then to go after your past clients. So the thumb for everybody is your past clients. This is your thumb, my playbook, is your past clients. So the thumb is your past clients. The palm of your hand is your 40 VIPs, your local sphere of influence. Or if you're a lender, it's your 40 realtors that you're chasing. So we got the thumb and we got the palm. Two things, make a fortune on those two things. I can get 80 deals a year out of 40 people. Either 40 realtors, or 40 people I know. I get 80 deals all day long. You're not getting the 80 deals. Number one, you're not contacting. Number two, you're not bringing any value. And number three, we talked through that you all never do, you never what? You never close. You're on the phone, speakerphone like this. You ain't gonna make no money. Why you broke? Why you don't get it done? Most of you don't get it done because you don't close. We talk about closing 20 times a day. 20 times you ask people to do business. I don't care if you bug the shit out of them. I don't care if they're annoyed. I don't care if they find you're a greedy pig. When they say, oh, you're closing me too much, I just want to take care of you. I just want to help you. I want to help you make money. I want to help your clients make money. Look, you heard Laura talk about the guy that followed up all the time, all the time, all the time, all the time. Your follow-up for most of you is what? Like, next question. How many have a piece of paper where you track all the leads through each one? Raise your hand if you have it. So, all my clients have that. The rest of you don't have it. So, write that down. Okay, piece of paper. Write leads for July on the top of the paper. Leads for July. Put 20 slots on the piece of paper. When it's full, you get the what, young man? Go home. When it's not full, you what? Make calls. Make more calls. Make more calls. Don't send more texts. Don't send more videos. I know you're on social media. I'm on a plane last night flying over here, and there's a family sitting across from me, and they got a girl. She looks about, 25, 26 years old. I watched her for every time I looked over there, she was looking at what? And what was she looking at her phone? Pictures of other people with pictures of her. I know she looked at pictures of herself. I'm like, I want to yell, woman, you're ridiculous. Stop looking at yourself. All these different pictures, all of these different scenes, poses, and this, and this. Oh my God, woman, stop taking pictures of yourself. Lady, stop taking pictures of yourself. Don't take pictures of me. Take pictures of other people, other things. This girl's sitting there looking at herself on pictures last night. I felt what? I felt sad for the world. What did I feel watching her last night? I kept calling me in. It's like, I kept looking. I couldn't leave it be, Laura. I kept looking over there. I kept, no, I'm not going to look at it. I kept looking. Oh, there's another picture. There's another picture. Here she's on the sunset. Here she's on a hill. Oh, my God. If that's what the world is coming to, self-gratification, we're in what? We're in trouble. We just don't want to make a difference in other people's lives. And this is what it's getting down to. And we wonder why the income is not higher for salespeople. They don't make a difference. They don't bring enough value. So, I think we have a vision. 20 leads, 1 full-time assistant, 4 deals a month as a realtor, 6 deals a month as a lender. You'll make pretty good money. Some of you need to double that foundation. Some of you need to triple that foundation. Now let's talk about how to do it. So we talked about the palm. This is Monday. 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 10 VIPs a week. So if you're a realtor, you got 40 people, how often are you going to call them? Once a month. Every Monday, you're going to call 10. Hey, it's Rick. How are you? What'd you do for 4th of July? What can I do for you? Nothing. No. I need you to give me something that I can do for you to help your business or your life. Because I need you to refer me some business, and I got to make a deposit. I met this guy last week, and I said I got to make a deposit, so I need to make a deposit. Tell me something I can do for you to help you out, because I'm going to close you in about 2 minutes, and I want to feel good about myself. That would what? Work. Because the truth will what? The truth will set you free. I'm just telling you. Tell your client, say, listen, I'm a realtor. I'm trying to make money, and I know I got to do something for you first. So just tell me what you need me to do, so we can get to the point where you send me some business. That works.
Yep.
What don't work? Got my list ready. Got my diving shoes on. Got my hair next to home. Good, shiny. Got my eyebrow out of place. Got to get that. Okay. Get my list ready. Wash my phone. Get all the antiseptic off the phone. Get it ready. Oh, let's go list. Freshen up the list. Get it all organized. Get my sticky notes. Get my lead tractor here over here. I'm ready. Wash your phone again. Somebody might have touched it. Up. Let's get a break for coffee. Just don't make any stinking phone calls because you don't really want to get paid. That's the truth. So I'm telling you this. If you're not making 20 outbound a day, you're a broke sucker. If you're not making 20 outbound a day, you're broke. I will put up any of your businesses against that math. If you're not making 20 outbound a day, you ain't getting paid. That's the minimum with me. 20 outbound a day. I have some broke realtors in my town that deal with some of my loan reps. They do like 7 million or 9 million or 12 million. It's like, okay, come on. You can do it. You gotta make your 10 calls today, technically, when it's done. Of these 5 realtors, how many text me 6 days a week do they make? Nothing. Just so you know, 10 calls a day is nothing. Nothing. You'll make no money on 10 outbound calls. But just to get them started, I put them on what, JP? 10 outbound calls. They want to have a party 2 days later. I did it on Tuesday and Thursday! I called 10! Oh my God, the business is slowing in. I'm exhausted. I'm so busy. Come on, people. 10 a day on Monday for the realtors and the lenders. 40 on Monday. You got to call how many of those realtors? 40. All 40 of them realtors. You got to call them. Now, you will need a nap about 2 o'clock because them realtors will wear you out. Lenders, give me an amen. Them realtors will wear you out. Wear you out. We can't live without you. We cannot live without you. Got to have them realtors. That's our main focal point. That's our palm right here. That's the Rick Ruby playbook. 40 realtors. How to get those 40 realtors. So, 120 outbound a day. Guaranteed money maker, 6 days a week, 20 outbound, 120 a week. If you don't get any calls back, what does that say, JP? You suck on the phone, okay? So listen, you measure your outbound calls versus your what? Fishing is when? When is fishing? You fish? I fish a little bit, okay? When is fishing matter? When the fish is on the line. If they call back, what are they? On the line. The money is made, and the callbacks and the voicemails, you track how many outbound you made, the callbacks you got. When they call back, they're kind of what? Interested in what you said, so I don't say nothing. Oh, it's emergency, call me back. That's all I say about this. They all what? They all call me back. I'm just telling you, when they call back, remember, you who calls first gets paid. You ends the phone call, wins. I'm just telling you, them people call you, because you called them, you're going to get paid. But if you ain't got a set number of phone calls you make, you're not a salesperson. How many has had a non-mortgage real estate sales job? I sold, no one else has sold anything, and none of you had any sales jobs. A couple of them did sales jobs. Wow. Your trainings are all going to be booked. You don't know how to sell. Sales is number of calls, number of return calls. Every sales trainer from every industry in the whole world will teach you. Your output, measured by your input, equals your dollars. Okay, whether you're selling windows or cars, you make an outbound call. So we're going to make 20 calls a day. Right now, we're going to call, we're going to pair up twos. Pair up twos. Grab the guy next to you. Don't be the last man standing. Get with somebody next to you. Move. Good. Don't need to change tables. Grab the person next to you. Now, you don't mind Your person goes first as a salesperson. Okay? Go! You had a minute! You had a minute! You got closed, stand up. That person closed you, stand up. Not bad. 10 stinking salespeople. The rest just want friends, dear, okay? They just want friends. Sit down. Knuckleheads. Knuckleheads! Write this down! Oh my God, you people need me desperately. It's a horrible audience. So listen. Write down A on your paper. A, B, C. Always be closing. You're not. You're not closing. Now listen. Got a minute. You're going to switch partner. You're going to say hello. This I'll do it for you. JP, you be the partner. Yes, you be the partner. Ding-a-ling. You are a ding-a-ling. JP, Rick Ruby from Cross Country. I helped you finance your house 5 years ago. Do you remember me? Yes, sir. I've totally ignored you, and I apologize for that because you are important to me. You know, you bought that house for $500. You put $100 down. I think it's worth $900 right now. How do you feel about their return on investment?
I feel really good. I feel really good. I feel happy.
You happy? You feel happy? I like it. Good. Are you enjoying the house?
Yes, sir.
And you fixed it up?
Yes, I did.
What have you done to it?
I put some floorings, painted the house.
Nice.
You did the backyard.
How do you feel that you turned $100 grand into $400 grand?
Really good.
4X. Warren Buffett would like that kind of advice, wouldn't he?
Yes.
So what's this next question I got to ask you? Time to move up, buddy. Time to move up, JP. You know you can afford 4 times what you make. What do you and your wife making right now?
Me and my wife. Mine.
Yeah.
We 400,000.
So you guys could afford about $1.6 million mortgage right now. Now, did you make more money when you bought that last house?
Yes, sir.
Did your income go up?
Yes, sir.
Because you're a little debt motivated, weren't you? A little scared, okay? Now you're comfortable. What do we got to make you now?
More
Uncomfortable. So listen, I want you to do me a favor. I got a great realtor in your town. Your previous realtor's gone. I don't see him anymore. But a local realtor friend of mine is named Ryan. I'm going to hook you up with Ryan. I want you to go on a date with your wife, and I want you to look at one house for $1.6 million just for fun and do a little dream. Do that for me? I'm going to have Ryan call you. By the way, who else do you know that wants to make a lot of money in real estate? You got a lot of good friends.
This guy right here.
Cool. Don't text him, call him, tell him I'm on the call. That took a minute. That's how you make a call. You get on the phone, you talk about the value of their house, you ask them if they like it, what remodel they've made, introduce them to a realtor, because if their realtor's gone, introduce them to a new realtor, or you're their realtor. Now do it again, the other partner, go. That sounds like a call center. That group that I just saw right there will flat out get paid. What's been here the rest of the time will not make money. You will not make money unless you sound like that and you feel like that. So I'll give you some tips on making phone calls. Never make phone calls sitting down. All phone calls have to be standing up. There has to be a little makeup mirror on your desk. Now see yourself button. Smile when you're dialing. This is how you make money. This is how you get paid. This is how you provide for your family. This is how you have fun stuff. This is how you have a return. And this is how you create the greatest word of all words, which is what? Legacy. When your children's children get an inheritance, you've done something special. When they remember you, great-great-grandchildren are going to college because of the sweat you made and the calls you made. So, review pretty quick. So, I want you to watch a movie called Pay It Forward. I don't even know if you get hold of it anymore. It's about making deposits. I think we have to make more. We finally take some notes. Say you finally take some notes. Hour later, you write something down. So, we're going to watch a movie called Pay It Forward. We're going to take care of some people. Number 2, we're going to pick 40 people out of our phone that we're committed to making deposits with. Number 3, we're going to make 20 outbound a week, a day. 20 outbound a day. 20 outbound calls every single day. 20 outbound calls every single day. We're going to always be closing, talking about making money, talking about referring you people that want to make money, get paid. Now, I'm going to tell you the last thing of the 3 decisions you have to make. Number 1, capitalism or freedom. Let me choose capital. I choose capitalism. Some of you actually choose freedom over capitalism. Now just so you know, like I grew up in the 70s, free love, communes, hippies, yeah, this shit don't fly anymore. Understand? It don't work. Your parents can get away with it. I don't know what they ate back then, but they must not eat no food. Because I'm telling you, that ain't gonna fly. You gotta pick capital. But only pick capital. Raise your stinking hands. Lie to me for a minute that you live with me. God, I will tell you, most of you don't hate your situation enough. If you don't hate where you're at, it's like, it's okay. You know what's the worst term in America? It's okay. You look in the mirror and you say, it's okay. It ain't okay. You look at your relationships and you say, it's okay. It ain't okay. You look at your tax return and you say, it's okay. It ain't what? Okay. It ain't okay. That's the problem in America. Everything is what? Everything is okay. That's why we don't stand for anything. That's why we fall for everything. It ain't okay. You got to make some changes. Now, you can't change the planet until you change who? Yourself. So, I think you have to make some changes. So there's only one way you can make changes. Only one way you can make changes. If you're overweight, hire a personal trainer. If your marriage is on the rocks, go to marriage counseling. If your kids are a crash, get some advice on how to fix them. Okay? But I'm telling you, who you get advice from is more important than you get advice. Everybody has an opinion about a lot of topics. Are they an expert? Like, we're going to hire a personal trainer. We all decide we're going to get fit. We're all going to hire a personal trainer. And this guy is like a big chubba. Okay? He wants to be your personal trainer. Don't hire him. If you want to hire somebody to make money and they don't have no money, don't hire them. If you want to hire somebody that's marriage counseling and they've been divorced 3 times, don't hire them. So I will tell you this. I'm a big fan of looking behind the curtain. I would not meet with a financial planner that did not show me his tax returns and his financial. How many have a financial planner? Raise your hand. How many do not know his financials? Raise your hand. Shame on you. You're dealing with some broke bum that you have no idea if they're qualified. You call them up and say, hey, what's your tax return say? How much you make? How much you got personal money invested? And he's like, oh, I'm totally offended that you would ask it. No, your ass is broke. That's why you don't want to tell me the truth. I am glad to tell people what I make and what I have in the bank. I'm in very solid shape financially. I've been over $1 million every year since 1995. I've been over $5 million for 15 years in a row. I flat out get paid. I got a giant bank account. I make a lot of money in the stock market. I give away over $1 million every year to charity. I get it done. That's why people pay me 40 grand. That's why they do what I say. That's why they're under my authority. That's why they allow me to be their director. So, I'm going to tell you this, write down this date. August 9th. August 9th in Dallas. I will have a one-day sales rally for big realtors that make $1 million, for big lenders that make $1 million. I'll do the morning, go off in the afternoon, learn from some great realtors, go off in the afternoon, learn from some great lenders, come back at the end of the day, I'll teach some closing skills, but you gotta have training from experts. And listen, if it ain't me, I'm okay with it. I got a lot of clients and I got a lot of money. But if the choice is nobody to coach you, nobody to train you, what's your odds? 0. You're one of the 1% that might be able to make it on your own. You ain't gonna make it on your own. I didn't make it on my own. I've had 10 coaches that I've paid. 10 coaches. I've had them from 2 years to 10 years each. I've had coaches. I've been to tons of trainings. I've been through tons of programs. I just finished with a coach, and here's the rule. When you out earn me, JP, you can run. You can leave me. When can you leave me? At your current pace, I'd have to be 500 for you to out earn me, okay? Man's not focused. He's charming, but not focused. Some of you are not even charming. JP is amazingly charming, but he's easily distracted. Butterfly. Shiny thing over here. Oh, it's over here. How many of you get easily distracted? Raise your hand. You get distracted during the day. why you're not getting it done. So, we'll break it down. In the office, every day, 9 a.m. 9 a.m. in the office, dress to kill. Dress to kill, 9 a.m. How many of you work from home? Raise your hand. You'll never make any money. You'll never get paid ever working from home. You get dressed, he's sitting there in his boxer shorts, having coffee, petting the dog, watching Oprah on TV, listening to music videos. You ain't gonna get paid working at home. You gotta go to an office every day. You gotta be dressed up. You gotta be dressed up to work. Work clothes. Work clothes. Dress shirt, dress pants, dress it. I will tell you this. I would never, ever buy real estate from somebody in blue jeans. Ever. Would I ever buy real estate? I bought a lot 3 years ago, a piece of land for $4.3 million. We were looking at dirt. He was dressed up with boots on and I bought from him. You be dressed to kill every day that you go to work. Stop being cool and get flat out paid. But listen, August 9th, I got an event. It costs you $900. Get to Dallas, get a hotel, and learn. Now, I'm just telling you, that's training. That's not coaching. That's training. That's a day. This was an hour and a half of training. Sales training with some tactics that you can walk out with, that you can get paid. That you can sit in the parking lot, pull up 40 people, call 10, and say, that was a valuable day. I made, it's funny thing. 10 of you will go in the parking lot and pick 40 names. 5 of you will call 10 people in the parking lot, and all 5 of those people will get leads. If they just make the 10 calls and close, they'll get some leads. But the rest of you, you won't do shit. You won't pull up a list, you won't call nobody, you won't change, because your business is what? Okay. 10 closing, February, it's okay. Did 2 loans in March, it's okay. It ain't okay for me as an Alfonso. Alfonso, one of my clients in San Diego, he don't put up 20. I bring up for sale by owner sign to his house because he lives in a Big Mac Daddy house. I'm like, I'm selling that house. If you don't put up 20 deals, you're selling that house. I'm telling you, if you're with me, you're going to get paid. There ain't no way around it because that's what matters to me at work. At work, getting paid matters. In life, getting paid don't matter. But if you're going to work, get flat out paid as much as you can, as fast as you can, and accumulate. Teach you a little bit about money. But you should come August 9th. I'll have 1,000 people in the room. We'll have a breakfast. We'll have a lunch. We'll have a happy hour. It's cheap training. It's just a cheap day for you to get trained by a bunch of rich people. You look at the bums you've been dealing with. They either don't sell houses, haven't sold houses in 20 years. Your sales trainer, the broker at your office, he sold 4 houses in 1975. He'll tell you what to do. Brian's one of my coaches. 14 closings in June right here in this town. Dustin and Laura are 2 of my coaches. 16 and 18 deals in June in this town. Not 20 years ago. Today we put in business because our stuff flat out worked. Well, listen, August 9th, spend $900, come to Dallas, and start your journey to getting paid. Now, coaching is not training. This was training. Coaching is I'm standing over you, watching you make those 10 phone calls, telling you what you did wrong, making your role play with me, looking at your leads, looking at your P&L, looking at your budget. Let's finish some time with some money. I'll give you some money training. Okay? Number 1 rule about money. 20% of your paycheck has to be put aside every month for 20 years. 20% of your paycheck put aside for 20 years. Gabe, when you have some money, we know you can earn. Yes. But you don't have no money because you can't what? You got no discipline. All you got no discipline in your life. Making 10 calls on Monday is nothing. Making 20 calls a day is nothing. If you just do that, if you just lie to me, here, just do this. I want you all to raise your hand and lie to me and tell me you can make 20 calls a day. Everyone lie to me right now, raise your hand. Oh my God, I feel so good. I feel so good. I feel so hopeful. Somebody take a selfie of me. I need to. Those pictures look like on airplane. I couldn't stop looking at it. It drove me crazy. I literally wanted to say something to her. Her dad was sitting behind her. She said, "You're in trouble. You're going to have to support that child forever." Now, she's probably an influencer making $5 billion. That's probably what she's probably a big old influencer. But I think that you got to get some training, and then you got to hire a coach. So, I don't care. If you hire Tom Ferry, if you hire me, if you hire Brian Buffini, or any of the 2,000 new people that are in the coaching business, those are the long-term ones. And I'm just telling you this, get some training, hire a coach. So when you go to an event and you like it a lot, and you believe in what the man says, and his values align with yours, hire. I have 3 levels. I got a low level for $750 a month. I got a mid level for $1,500 a month. I got a high level for people over 300 that pay me $3,500 a month. You get what you pay for in life. But to deal with a Ryan or a Dustin or a Laura on a bi-weekly call on every other week is going to help your business. Let's just be clear. If you hang with dogs, you're going to get what? Fleas. If you hang with eagles, you're going to what? Fly. And I'm just telling you, if I were to look at the 10 people you're hanging around with, would you bring home these guys? I'm just telling you, change the people you're hanging out with. So when you meet these clients and they're really excited and they're really gung-ho when you're making a call, go to lunch. So for me, it boils down to this. 20 outbound calls a day, 20 outbound calls a day, 20 thank you cards a week, handwritten thank you cards. You have a good phone call, send a thank you card. You have a good meeting, send a thank you card. Don't say, hey, thanks, write what you learned in the meeting. So I make 20 outbound calls a day, I make 20 thank you cards a week, and I think you need to see, let's see, for this group, I think if you could see 10 people a week face to face, so 3 things. 20 outbound a day, 4 thank you cards a day, 2 face-to-faces a day, you'd all what? Be fat paid, make lots of money, have better lives, or you can just keep saying what? It's okay. It's okay. Just so you know, what do you deserve in life?
Everything.
You deserve nothing. You deserve nothing. Nobody deserves anything. Just because you're pretty or tall, you don't deserve nothing. You get what you earn. If you earn a lot, you'll get a lot. I earn a lot, I get a lot. Dustin and Ryan and Laura earn a lot, so they get a lot. If you're not getting a lot out of life, because you're not what? You're not earning a lot. So, I had a good time. My clients are staying for a little happy